I want you to take a minute to think about the best teacher that you've ever had. This teacher probably left a positive impact not only in your life, but the life of countless others. And you'll likely remember this teacher for the rest of your life. My favorite teacher was my algebra teacher in high school. She would always come into school early or stay after school to help us with assignments if we ever needed help on anything because she just wanted to see us succeed. But she decided to step down to become a real estate broker because they made more money than she did, and she didn't have to go back to school to do that. As our population is at an all-time high, the demand for teachers is also larger than ever. But to keep up with that demand, we have to pay teachers more. You'll probably have kids sometime in your life, and you'll want the best possible education for them. And paying teachers more ensures that they will have the best possible education. Today, we'll talk about how much teachers make, why they should make more, how they can make more, and what our world would look like if teachers made more money. I found on Career Explorer that first-year teachers make an average of $31,000 a year. Long-term teachers make an average of $47,000 a year in Indiana, which averages out to about $15 an hour. Factory workers, truck drivers, realtors, UPS workers, these are just a few of the careers that make more money than teachers do without a college degree. According to news investigator Tully Taylor, Hoosiers have seen the smallest change of pay in teachers in the country in a 15-year period. They've seen an average salary increase of less than $7,000 since 2002, but neighboring states are making at least double that. Indiana ranks 51st in the country for teacher salary increases. This is leading Indiana teachers to leave the state and teach or just quit the profession altogether. Segan March at Evansville Courier and Press says that 1 in 5 Indiana teachers work second jobs. And in that article, I found a quote from an anonymous teacher that says, "If you didn't work a second job, you'd stay after school, planning and getting things ready for the next day. Then you'd go home, but when you're having to hurry up and get out of school to get to that second job, and then hurry and wrap up that second job to get home and do the things you needed to do earlier, it's exhausting." But here's how educators in the state are fighting for better wages. You may have heard last month, teachers from all across Indiana gathered at the State House to peacefully protest for higher salaries and reforms to evaluation policies. Brian Woolston at the U.S. Legal News says teachers in Indiana are asking Republican state legislator to commit $700 million this year to boost average salary to $60,000 a year for teachers, asking lawmakers to prevent new standardized testing scores from counting against teachers in school evaluations. And then here's a few pictures from the day at the State House last month. Raising teachers' wages in Indiana won't be cheap or easy, but it's long overdue. Stephanie Wang at Chalkbeat tells us that Indiana is so far behind neighboring states in teacher compensation that it would cost $658 million to make salaries more competitive. The Stand for Children Indiana Executive Director Justin Olamiller tells us teachers in Indiana are severely behind in terms of pay. It's clear Indiana must address this pay gap if we want to turn the tide on shortage. Ed Delaney, who's a Democratic representative of Indianapolis, is a huge activist for teachers in Indiana. In October, he proposed a plan to set the minimum salary for teachers to $400,000 a year while freezing corporate taxes to pay for it. He says, "We are not creating rocket science here. We are simply trying to put money in a complex system." So what would Indiana look like if teachers were paid more? People don't want to become teachers because of the pay. A lot of my friends who are also education majors are discouraged by their parents and are told that it's not smart to become a teacher because of the pay. I think that if teachers were paid more, they would be more respected in society. And with the incentive of more pay, people will be more apt to want to teach in low SES schools and giving those vulnerable children a better education and a better role model. Jessica Labor at Fast Company talks about a study that was done in Manhattan. For the last 5 years, a charter middle school has been conducting an experiment. It's called the Equity Project. The Equity Project pays its teachers $125,000 a year with extra bonuses for good performance. The first long-term study to evaluate the school shows astounding results. The study compared the students with students in a nearby public school who had similar initial test scores, family income, and other demographics. The 8th graders showed an average test score gains in math of an extra year and a half of school, and in science and English of an extra half a year of school compared with the district students. It's clear that higher salaries lead to smarter students. After we know how much teachers get paid and what we can do to change that and what Indiana would look like if teachers did get paid more, I want you to think back to your favorite teacher. Do you think that they deserve more than $47,000 a year? Thank you.